ABC News Radio.
What are the effects of sleep deprivation?
Well, the effects are multiple effects. People notice that their concentration is reduced, their alertness is reduced. They might also notice that they're more irritable, more grumpy, more prone to depression. We all know about accidents for driving, and yet we know that people still insist on driving when they're too tired or driving when they really should be asleep. But also the other interesting thing is inadequate sleep increases the risk of a variety of chronic illnesses, diabetes, heart disease, even obesity.
Why are so many Australians not getting enough sleep, do you think?
Well, I think part of it's to do with our 24/7 society. A lot of people do work at home in the evening, or they spend time on their laptops and devices in the evening. And we know that the blue screen, the blue light on the screen will suppress the hormone melatonin that helps us become sleepy at night. So people might be in bed, turn off the light, and then feeling wide awake. And maybe it's because they've been on their devices for too long. But I think part of it is that people just don't prioritise sleep as much as they used to. And people should think, well, maybe I need 7.5 to 8.5 hours. That's sort of a bit of the range. And I'll make sure I have that amount of time in bed so I can get what I need.
And aside from the effects on our own bodies, it obviously has a domino effect then into the country's economy, affecting productivity and all that sort of thing.
Well, that's right. As you said, over 60 billion, actually 66 billion is the number that's come up, and 26 billion of that are in healthcare costs and loss of productivity. So, it's enormous. People not always going to work because they feel too tired, because they haven't slept properly, decreased efficiency at work, a lot more work accidents. We see it in every sphere, really.
Do you think that sometimes we look at our diets perhaps and try to remedy that? We think we should have a little bit more exercise, but sleep is pushed to the back, if you like, and that people don't realise that actually having enough sleep also contributes to a healthy lifestyle.
Well, absolutely. People see sleep as dispensable, but sometimes they even think it's uncool and not the thing to do. But as you point out, there are three aspects to health: diet, exercise, and sleep. Of course, I would argue that sleep is the most important. It affects every single cell of our body, every single organ in our body. But obviously, we need to eat as well. And
I have to ask you this: what happens if you do a lot of shift work? How does that impact on you?
Well, we know that people who do shift work are pretty chronically sleep deprived until they get their days off, and then they do their catch-up sleep. And we also know that a lot of the shift schedules that are around are not consistent with circadian principles. And there's a lot of research being done, and we know how to design the best shifts. There's actually been a new website launched called Work Alert, which goes through those sort of principles, and we're encouraging employers and employees to educate themselves on how to actually design good shifts.
Have to go and have a look at that. So in essence, what is the solution then? How do we educate society as a whole to really prioritise sleep as we should?
Well, we would like to see a big prevention campaign. We've seen other things being very successful, like stopping smoking and anti-skin cancer. And we really think that we need an awareness campaign around sleep. So for the general community, but also for our medical profession, which I think there is room for improvement there on how to treat sleep issues, not always with drugs, but also behaviourally. People can make big differences in what they do to get a better night's sleep.
abc.net.au/newsradio. Get your news now.